This is the Sunday edition of the 217 Recovery Podcast. Tonight's episode was carefully selected by Marney.
Could be little, could be big. But going back out is not the answer.
Sit back, relax, or do whatever it is you do, and enjoy Marney's Sunday night replay.
It might be childish, sure, but that's kind of what drugs do, you know. 217 Recovery Podcast. It is the 7th of September, 2019. My name is Corey Winfield.
I'm Ryan Beckman.
And this is the 217 Recovery Podcast. I want to say thanks for listening.
Thank you, everybody.
I guess I'd say tuning in, but I'd like to thank you for hitting play.
Clicking in.
For sure. And if you can share this with your friends, family, somebody that you know might have a problem, might have a little addiction issue, whether it be gambling, alcohol, cocaine,
Sex.
methamphetamine, sex, people watching, stalking, whatever. You know, we are here for you in whatever capacity. Oh, heroin, meth. I think I said methamphetamines, but yeah. Or maybe you know someone who has a family member, a friend that has a problem, and they're like, what do I do? We've heard from people who listen, like, thanking us because it gives them a little insight on what's going on in the mind of someone who is in recovery, because Ryan and I are in recovery. Super. Ryan's got his 180 days today. Depends how you look at it. Some people say, well, that's 5 months, 6 months.
6 months.
Some people say, well, no, because the 11th is your day.
My actual day, but some months have 31 days. So
yeah, so I mean, it all depends, because when you first start out, and depending where you go, some places they'll give you a 30-day chip, a 60-day chip, 90-day chip. Some people keep that going. Some people like me. So, and plus, I don't know, it's easier for me to keep track of. But I'm 266, so I got 99 more days, and I get my year. I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know if you can kind of tell in my voice just a little bit, kind of cracked, I think.
I'm halfway there.
Yeah, and so big props to you for the 180, Ryan. I'm proud of you.
I'm proud too.
Yeah, and we're doing good things, man, and that's what we're trying to do, and that's working for us. You know, this podcast, 217 Recovery, we're focused, we're driven, and for me, I know that helps tremendously. In the past, you know, I was thinking about this earlier because I thought, well, I'm just going to have to do a podcast by myself. My co-host who's not here with me started crying a little bit in the car, and I was sitting in this parking lot, and I had a flashback.
No.
I know. It was so sad. Back to this one time, I think I had like 5 months sober, and I was doing pretty well for myself and starting to get back in the swing of things. Life was going good again. Money started to go in my pocket, and I decided it's time to get a girlfriend. So, but I remember sitting in this parking lot, like, hungover. I don't remember too much about the drinking episode, but I remember I ended up in a parking lot, sleeping in my car, like, the next day, and she had to come find me. I had no idea where I was at. No clue. My phone wasn't working.
How did she find you?
I don't remember. But it was just like this.
She had a tracker on you, didn't she?
No.
She knew where you were at all times.
No, I think I just started describing the buildings or something, because I finally got my phone to work, but I think it, like, the internet wasn't working because I had Sprint. So I don't know. So it was just like a situation, and I couldn't drive. I had, like, the DTs going on pretty bad because, like, I don't know, some people drink and I just drink beer, and maybe if they drink beer they don't get that, or maybe I don't know, but my body,
it happens,
you know.
I've lost my car.
Yeah,
I had an ex who would lose her car every couple of months. It would be like, well, where was it? She would walk home, whatever, still had no idea. I'm like, oh.
But I was in my car though. But I don't know, the shakes though. I couldn't drive. So I mean, I couldn't drive. I was too sick to drive. You know, it wasn't I was too drunk. I was just too sick. And anyway, I was thinking about that as I was in the parking lot today, and I just remember thinking to myself too, like, in that situation, like, well, she's found out about me now, and I'm glad I don't have to live that way anymore. You know, it was one of those reminders, and you'll get them from time to time, too, if you're in early recovery or maybe you're in long-term recovery. You know exactly what I'm talking about, where you'll get a reminder of where you used to be. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with that. I try not to live in the past like that. But you just,
healthy reminder, keep you focused.
Chalk it up to what it is.
Yeah.
So what are you doing, man? How was your day?
Day was pretty good. I don't know, went to a meeting, then worked on my motorcycle for a while. That went pretty good. And went and visited an old friend of ours that got out of jail recently. Found out the story on that.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
Well, here it is. So a while back, he got a drunk and disorderly. And then... So he got released from jail on a PR bond, and when that happened, a couple weeks later, he was going to the store, get some alcohol and some groceries. He had a whole bunch of groceries, and one of the bags started ripping. Well, so then, I don't know, something got caught up in his bike or whatever, but he went flying over the handlebars, got smashed all up, laying there with like a yard sale, everything laying around, and some Good Samaritan, one of them Good Samaritans, called for help for him, and cops showed up, realized he had been drinking, and he's got a case of beer right there anyways, even if he wasn't, he's in possession, so they hauled him off to jail for breaking his bond, spent 30 days on that drunk and disorderly.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
That's rough.
Yeah, no groceries, beer was gone. His bike, he was pretty close to where he lived or was staying, and he found it on a bike rack down the street. So I'm like, you know your bike sucks when nobody even steals it. It's just on the bike rack down the street. He's got like a purple and pink bike, so it's not too desirable.
Wow. Yeah, they don't like when you drink. I mean, I'm glad I only got a week. Because, I mean, I wasn't going to the store and wasn't riding my bicycle either. But
yeah.
But yeah, I had got out, but I had paid them money. Maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe that just made them so mad. They're like, we trusted you to let you out. And I'm sure the judge told them, like they told me, you do not drink, you do not smoke weed.
Oh, yeah, when you're on bond, you can't do anything, really, you know.
And that's kind of a dumb way to get caught, too. See, man, hopefully he can pull it together and realize that drinking's not his thing.
He wants to, you know,
but not good at it.
He's not good at it. And then, what did he say? He put, like, a Lansing address down for his address, so they jacked his bond up like he's a flight risk, a couple of grand, so there's no possible getting out for him. Oh, sorry, buddy.
Man.
Growing pains.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not taking him to the bus stop. I'm not going to be a part of that. But, dude, you sound sick still, man.
I still am.
Like, it sounds like you just smoked 18 packs of cigarettes, and that's not it. I mean, you only smoked, like, 2. But no, Ryan's got, and this is something I want to talk about too. He's got, I don't know if it's a sinus infection or just
congested chest,
is, man. But
getting a little better, I think.
Self-care is something that's huge, and something that when we're in active addiction, whatever,
don't care, no worries.
You know what's going to help me? Another bottle. I won't even feel this cold or this sickness. Blech. Done that many times. And plus, I don't know if I heard this from some other drunk guy or if I actually did look it up, but yeah, alcohol fights off bacteria. it kills like the flu virus, you know, and I'm pretty sure that's not true.
No.
But
I don't know.
I had that thinking, though.
Yeah. I mean, it possibly kills some bacteria, but it's also killing your immune system, so either way, it's not really a win-win.
So you went to the doctor?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I never go to the doctor.
Oh, so you're...
I'm still poor on the self-care.
Okay.
I don't like me.
But seriously, there's nothing wrong with going to the doctor.
No. It's subsiding. I'll get better one of these days. This is just how I am sometimes in the winter.
Oh, he's one of those tough guys.
Yeah.
And wait till you hit 40, buddy.
I'll think about it then.
Yes, be down there at the doctor.
I mean, I could go buy a bottle of Robitussin, but I don't really feel like medicating myself, so what are you going to do?
Well, I have Flonase.
I'm all natural healing.
He's been sick for 5 days. So, yeah, good job on the healing, all natural.
Letting the body build its own immune system.
Well, that's your body's way of saying that your immune system sucks.
Well, this is my way of saying step it up.
Oh, you sound so bad, dude.
Yeah.
You sound horrible. But what are you going to do? See, when I was in active addiction, too, and there were just things that I didn't want to know about. I don't want to go to the doctor because this hurts, and I don't know what it could be.
No, it's not quite like that. I've been eating good and getting rest, so, I mean, that's the best I can do for it right now.
The pain,
best I want to do for it. I guess I could do more, but
the pain I had, and if you know somebody who, drinks a lot and they're complaining of like having stomach pain, man, it was like up on my left-hand side. It hurt bad. And I don't think if my coworker
or puking up blood.
See, I wasn't doing that. Sign. Yes, I maybe was.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't keep anything down. Mm-hmm. But if my coworker didn't make me pick up the phone and call to make a doctor appointment,
never would have.
No, I was scared, man. Like, I was already jaundiced. Like, it was bad. And he was like, I'm tired of hearing you. But if you know somebody who's complaining like that, get them to the doctor. Trick them.
They're turning yellow. If their balls are turning yellow,
they
need help
immediately. And it doesn't have to be a death sentence unless you let it. Like my neighbor from like where I grew up in Coloma, neighbor across the street, died. Like my stepdad said that he saw him in the store and he looked jaundiced like I did. And this was like maybe 6 months to a year after I had went through my whole ordeal. So my stepdad saw him, and my stepdad kind of knew, like, okay, like that dude's, and he knew that they drink a lot, and he died in his bedroom, and he, like, I guess what the word on the street is, he fell, like, between the bed and the wall, and he had gained so much weight and was so bloated because nothing was working, and he just kind of, like, lodged in between the bed and the floor, and it was bad. And the woman that, I guess his girlfriend, they never got married, but she went a week. She was a drunk as well, and
didn't know,
or an alcoholic, and didn't even know. And then she finally found him, and like the cops, the fire department, they get to come and get him out, and I guess they were trying to condemn the house at that point, and she like did something, and I don't know, a month later she died kind of the same way. And I mean, that's
a horrible way to go.
Yeah, and it takes over your mind. It really does. And it was taking over my mind to where I knew something was wrong, man. I did, and I was just so afraid to find out.
Yeah, it got you living in constant fear.
I just knew that if I drink more,
you don't want to do nothing.
Just if I drink more, it'd be better. But then it got to the point where I couldn't even keep it down. I would try to just chug it, and then I thought about vaping it, and just all kinds of stuff. There you go, Whitmer.
There
you go, Governor.
I love this vodka flavor.
Yeah, I don't have no more vape juice. What can I vape now? Idiot. Sorry, I'm off of that. Oh, I did.
You're over it?
No, my friend Dan sent me a message. He was like, "You're very hypocritical of the governor and this and that." Yeah. And he's like, I don't have a dog in the fight because I don't care either way. But he's like, you started throwing out those numbers just like, oh, I'm like that. Apparently, he didn't get my point of that. My point was just making up numbers because that's what I felt they did. And he's like, no, I went and did research and I found, and it was 3.3 out of. It went up from 3.3 to 5 out of 100 kids. My point exactly. It's not this huge, massive crisis, and it's not the vape juice. It's the devices. It's the parents. It's the kids. And all they're, in my opinion, are doing, is she's doing, is opening up kids in middle school to start on their drug dealing careers. What you got? Oh, I got some of that vape juice. Yeah, I made some at home. You can make it. Oh, it's just so stupid. But anyway.
Yeah, you can go online, figure it out.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that anymore. I'm done. I rest. Yeah. I'm done. But, dude, the meeting I went to in Charlevoix, I don't know how we started talking about this, but, oh, yeah, because we were talking about, because I had my vapes down. They're like, that's poison. I heard that's worse than smoking cigarettes.
Yeah,
yeah.
Not hardly.
I was like, if I only had some crack. But, no, just kidding. Crack is bad. Don't do that. You don't want to mess with that. I think I told my story, but I'll tell it again one day. But no, I started talking about, the governor doesn't like her job, and I threw out there, because we're way up north in Michigan, that I was like, well, Ted Nugent, because there's a lot of hunters up here. I was like, well, Ted Nugent was governor, then blah blah blah. I was like, no, that'd scare me if he was governor, it really would. And then somebody said,
that's going a little far.
He kills he eats everything he kills, and of course my mind jumps to like. I'm like, really? I was like, so every time he like hits an animal, like he stops and let's throw it in the trunk.
Gotta eat this.
Didn't know we're having possum for breakfast, but we are. Like it.
Skunk.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I said. If he hits a skunk, is he throwing that back in there? Like, we're gonna mix this meat.
Some skunk stew.
Is that where they got mixed meat from? They'll make mixed meat out of you. Throw some skunk in there, a little possum.
Yeah,
Ted Nugent's cooking show, and then the whole meeting, I'm just thinking of like stuff that Ted Nugent would kill, and I could just see him cutting it up, and like Tom was telling the story, I'm just laughing, because I couldn't stop, I couldn't get it out of my head. I was cracking myself up, man. I truly was. Those guys, they said something today about, they're like, yeah, we don't.
Sorry, I missed it. I thought you were saying you're going to be at work or something, and I was like, okay, I didn't even read like what you said next. I don't know.
That's cool. I'm glad that I take the time to message you. I'm glad I didn't come back here though to the house, because I was going to pick Ryan up and take him to the meeting, because there's something about just going to meetings with people, close friends, and just people that are in recovery too. The rides to and from 90% of the time are better than the actual meeting itself. The pre-talk, just the talk about recovery, because you're kind of getting in that mindset,
Yeah. Geared up, and then
after the meeting,
a little recapping and working your way out.
Yeah, because depending on what kind of meeting you go to, like if you go to an AA meeting, there's some stuff that you just don't want to tell people, and that's fine. And if you go to see your preacher, you're not going to tell him everything either, Well, maybe you are. I don't know. But, yeah. But, so, I was going to come pick you up. I'm glad I didn't, though.
I'm glad you didn't either.
Yeah. But there was a new guy there, too. And you know how they do the whole prayer at the end? Mm-hmm. We grabbed everybody's hands. I was like,
was he all weirded out? What you do to him?
He got weirded out, and I was like, ring around the rosy. You thought, what the... Yeah, Tom and Ben didn't appreciate that. Well, Tom kind of laughed, but Ben was like, what are you doing? This is my meeting I'm running. The dude was like, they do ring around the rosy at the end? Like, what is this? But he started laughing, though. He was kind of like, after the look on his face, though, was like, are we really, like, he wasn't sure if to just go along with it. I was like, man, we can make this dude do a lot of things.
He's never coming back, though.
You don't put
before he leaves, keep coming back.
Yeah, that's the kind of fun we have. Mm-hmm. Oh, also, too, did you check your email today?
This morning.
Sent you an invite to pitch night.
Yeah, I seen the invite.
Okay. So, yeah, well, we'll talk more about that and how you can help us. If you're a big fan of the podcast, if you believe in 217 recovery, if you believe, man.
Believe in us.
We can do it. Then we're definitely going to call on you for a little help. So, and Yeah, see, sometimes you got to give people a chance to help out. And it has nothing to do with giving us money, nothing like that. Just a little support. And again, by support, I don't mean money. I'm not asking you for
child
money.
Support.
No, not, well.
Easy, gentlemen, easy. We're not like that.
I just had to pay my child support. Good, we're not going to ask you for money. But we will ask you for something, and that's help. So, in the same way, you can share this podcast. That would help us as well. People are listening, and we appreciate the fact that you are too.
I did read through the thing too. Just 4 minutes we're gonna have.
Yeah. See, Pitch Night, what it is Charlevoix County. There are businesses here that donate money, and they decided to come together and let businesses. Did we talk about this already? Well, if we did, then you're hearing it again. Hopefully, we're telling it the same way. But no, they donate money, and then they hold this competition where you have 4 minutes to get up there and pitch your idea. And we're going to get up there, tell them 217 Recovery. This is what we do. We are a business. We're a nonprofit. We're very close to sending off our 501c3 application. That can take maybe, I don't know, anywhere from a month to 6-7 months. Who knows? To get that approved. And once that's approved, like if you go, like on Facebook, like if it's your birthday or whatever, you can go, hey, I want to raise money for this charity. Well, then we can be on there. We will be on there. And if people want to donate money to us, which that's cool if you do, you can actually write that off on your taxes. So if you've ever donated money before, if you donate $20, you're not going to write that off on your taxes. You have to donate like a certain amount, like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And there are people out there that actually do that, and we're not going to get into the
logistics of it.
No. But just know that it will help us, it will help people, and the missions and the things that we want to do with people in recovery, as far as like employing them, helping them, and showing them a good time.
We're going to have a good time.
Yeah. Going to have a great time. But, I put, two things.
You?
Equip for Freedom.
Equip for Freedom.
They do a couple different things, but one of the things that I like, their women's sober living house. Mm-hmm. And it's in Petoskey, so it's a great place. Put their link on the resources page.
Yeah.
So if you go to 217recovery.com/resources, go there, and it'll take you right to their sober living page. There's like 4 things you got to fill out. So
nice.
If you know somebody, and also hit them up too, because they can get you funding to get into the house with a little help from some friends. See, that's the thing about the recovery community. Got friends.
Everybody's got friends that like to help.
Mm-hmm. And don't feel bad. Don't be like, oh, but I can't ask anybody for money. Yes, you can. Don't be afraid to ask for help. You'll learn that if you're in active addiction right now. You can ask for help. Nothing wrong with that. But
just think about how many times you asked for something when you needed some more alcohol or drugs.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, can I borrow $20?
Mm-hmm. So
borrow this, that.
And I think it's part of the actual process of the way the brain works, because first of all, if you've stopped using recently and you're just like, oh, I'm trying to figure this out, I'm not worthy, I'm a piece of crap. Maybe you've relapsed, oh, I'm a piece of crap. Maybe you were on the way to the store and get some beers and you hit something and your bike flips over and the police are there. Sometimes that happens.
And then you need a ride to the bus stop.
Kind of different kind of help. But, you can definitely ask for help for sure. Don't wait till it's too late. But another thing, too, is something I learned tonight. You have to delete Google.
What?
Yeah. Just delete Google. If you got Google, delete it. Because nothing works in Google anymore. Like, I've been Googling stuff all day.
What do
you have to use Google Chrome. Like, I was like wondering earlier, I was like trying to save stuff when I was filling out the application on my phone, and nothing was saving, nothing was doing anything, stuff wasn't opening. Then I went to our website, and of course, our website, like on the desktop, you had to use Google Chrome. Now you got to use Google Chrome too from your phone. So if you're like, man, Corey, I went to the website, I don't know. Like, a lot of people use Safari and I don't know, whatever, to search for things. But yeah, if you're just using regular Google, you're not getting our top-notch $10 a month website. Yeah, that's
Google
all it costs.
Chrome it is.
Yeah. So I've got it. Yeah, so I'm deleting my Google.
I think my Google app, just Google Chrome comes up. And if you close down Google Chrome and regular Google's there, I don't know. But I never use it, so I don't really...
Watch. I'm going to do it right now. Watch this. Oh, they shaking. Delete Google? Yeah. Bye. Stock just went down.
Oh, Google's going broke.
Oh, that's the stock market crashing, isn't it? Well, it sounded like a gun, but weak gun. We need some new sound effects.
Yeah.
I'm gonna email I really am gonna email my friend Chris. But all right. Do you have anything, Ryan, that you wanna?
I guess I had my short story in there, and I had a pretty good day. Was at a meeting earlier today, this morning when I went to one at 10. We were just talking about when you make amends to people. The way I used to do it, I'd apologize, but then I would tell them, I'd justify what I did, and I would go ahead and bring up everything that they did wrong, which nobody listens to you when you start telling them everything they did wrong, and that's not a real sincere apology, It works a whole lot better if you apologize for what you did and leave it at that, and if they, usually they'll take ownership of their stuff sooner or later after they've had time maybe to process what you've said and done. It just works out a whole lot better that way. You can be right or you can do it the right way. There's a couple of ways to apologize, but
makes sense. I think it was something like that in How to Win Friends and Influence People. Because, nobody likes to admit when they're wrong. Nobody likes to be told they're wrong. Like, there was one story in that book where this guy was at a dinner with this other guy, and so there were three guys. Two of the dudes were, like, buddies, and this other guy was just Mr. Know-It-All. Well, Mr. Know-It-All was saying all this info, but he was wrong. And the one guy was like, yeah, but this and that. And his buddy actually agreed with the guy that was wrong, knowing that he was wrong. And then he said after the dinner or whatever, he's like, why did you agree with him? You know he was wrong. And blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, you don't always have to be right. You don't always have to point out other people's wrongs either. And I kind of was like, makes sense, but it's hard sometimes. You got to catch yourself.
Yeah.
Like that book.
Yeah,
I'm going to buy you a copy.
You should.
It'll change.
I'm getting better, though. I'm catching myself.
It'll change your life.
It's like you just got to subside and take ownership of what you did. And if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah. But you're the one that's feeling that way. And I think that's probably why, I'm guilty of this too. Where you try to, well, you did this or and I try to catch myself, but sometimes you just want to pull that trigger back. You just gotta just throw it back at them. And that's just life, man. That's just something we're working on as people. I don't know if that has anything to do. It just has to do with life,
Yeah.
And those situations and how we feel and how we put ourselves in those positions to feel that way. And it's a lot easier when you're just like, like a dude called me an a-hole yesterday, and I was like, yeah, not the first time. And then started coming at me with more stuff, and I was like, I did get a couple shots, but I don't know. But at the end of the day, I'm like, whatever, man. That's his opinion of me. There's people that love me. There's people that like me.
I got Randy pretty fired up when we were bowling yesterday.
Whoa. Uh-oh. You want to unpack this?
It was... well, I was messing with him a little bit during the game. I like to razz the other players.
Should we describe who Randy is first? Randy.
Rander.
He's an elder man.
Elderly. Kind of raspy, rah, 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 kind of guy.
He's been to Africa.
And he's done everything. He probably is just a little bit better than whatever you've done.
Been to Australia. Now, are you doing what you just said you shouldn't be doing?
No, I'm telling a story.
Oh, okay.
You said describe Randy. I'm trying to give him a feel for it.
Well, but I mean, you were kind of you were painting a picture that's a little bit negative.
Well, Randy's kind of negative.
Whoa.
But I still love him.
We're just trying to see if Randy listens to the podcast.
Yeah, he doesn't. So anyways, there was several of us went bowling, and Randy, I think he beat me 2 out of 3 games, but I won the last game. I was telling him, yeah, I'm clutch in the end. They kind of mess with us. They turned the lights off. It was glow bowling. I don't know. I had sticky shoes.
Randy did.
Yeah, Randy. The one time he went to go throw the ball, and when he came out on the backswing, landed behind him. That was awesome. Anyways, I beat him in the last game, and he got pretty mad. Oh yeah, well, he's like going off. Who did the second to the worst on everybody? Oh, I'm like, yeah, but I was clutch Randy in the end. I get to go home with the win in 4th quarter. That's what it's all about.
I can't wait till you guys play fantasy football against each other. That week's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'm gonna hide the knives. Just maybe some attacks. I don't know. But yeah, remember Randy.
Oh, but then he was limping off the field. He pulled a muscle or something, so he's all limping around. We get halfway home, he forgot his phone there, so we had to go back. This is Randy. Life with Randy.
Jeez, poor Randy.
He's got it rough.
Poor Randy. He tries though, man.
Yeah, he's a
fantasy
trooper.
football. And he went bowling. That was pretty cool though.
Yeah, it was fun. I knew it was gonna be fun.
See, I just don't like bowling. Did you see the little girl? Mm-hmm. Well, hold on. Let me rephrase that. Did you see the woman who's really short?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
She's really short.
She's got that big rock on her finger too.
I didn't really pay that much attention to her.
Do you agree with me? She's not a midget.
No,
or a little person.
She's
she's a little human, but like she doesn't have like the. She's not like.
No,
that.
she's probably all of 4'6" or something though.
Cute. Let me put her right in your little pocket. Yeah.
So yeah, I think you got to be under 4 foot to be considered a little person.
But it has to be like your legs aren't long. Like I don't know. You know what I'm talking about.
But
like, the people on Little People Big World are shaped different than just short people.
Yeah,
and she's not shaped like Little People Big World people.
No,
or like Willow. That show you've seen Willow, the movie.
She's like a miniature poodle, not a toy poodle.
She's not like the leprechaun. No.
Yeah. No, she's.
But you know what? That'd probably suck though. Dating someone, you always have to get stuff for them. They'd be like, Ryan, get in here.
Randy's a little short too. The other day, he's like, "Oh, I've been waiting for. Hey, can you grab that for me?" It was his coffee grinder. He had to grind up some coffee. Like, back in the day, I used to grind up weed with that.
Oh my god!
It's before they had grinders. He was old.
We used to put it in the blender. We used to cut it up with scissors.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Another Randy for you.
Well, I guess we should get off the podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're just
Yeah, just being
We
sick.
had a good
started
Randy time.
Yeah, we started off strong until the Randy time came along. It rhymed, but all right. If you haven't listened to any other podcasts, feel free. What is there? 49 hours of podcasts that you can go back and listen to, and maybe you can get something out of something if you didn't get anything out of this. But if you did, appreciate that you did that. Ryan and I, we got something out of this for sure.
Yeah, I feel better already.
You know, we stayed sober again. 180 days, 266 days, clocking it, and just one day at a time. If you need help, if you need resources, they are there for you. 217recovery.com/resources. Make sure you're using Google Chrome. That way our site will actually load for you. But yeah, you can go to resources and go to the fun page. There's some fun stuff there. Check it out. Check out Anna's blog as well. There's good stuff there always. So.
Good inspirational and
Absolutely.
gratitude.
Yeah, buy yourself or your spouse or your kids or your dog a T-shirt, 217 Recovery T-shirt. We don't get any of the funds. It just helps us in public when you wear it. So there you go. Show you love, take pictures, and send those to us. If you want to share your story with us as well, feel free to reach out, and don't be surprised if we reach back to you and say, hey, you want to be on our show sometime. That does happen. We'll be in Benton Harbor on the 21st, and Ryan might be at Sisters of Sobriety Picnic next Saturday in Remus. We're still working on the details for that. So if you want to see Ryan live in person, touch him, give him kisses, and there's a nice sign that he's going to have.
He's still sick.
Nice sign that you're holding.
This is Benton Harbor. Oh, the sign that I'm holding.
Oh yeah, we haven't told people about the bed on the sign. We'll save that. We'll save that for tomorrow.
We're definitely betting some more on some other things, and you know what?
Ryan lost a bet. It's gonna be awesome.
I ain't gonna be the only one.
It'll be awesome. But yeah, find out more about that tomorrow when we do our other podcast. But yeah, have a good day, good night, whenever you're listening. Appreciate it again, and
thank you, everybody.
See you.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. For more episodes plus bonus features, download the 217 Recovery app.